Hey, welcome to Toontyme, bringing you Newcastle United news and discussion. So, yeah, if you managed to watch it or find out the result, a tough result to take, losing 2-1 to Liverpool at the death, a goal from Fabio Carvalho for them, but I also have to take a lot from that game and a lot of a great pleasure from it as every player tonight stood up and was counted. They put in 110% effort. It was they gave everything. Everyone knows that we were missing certain players, but there was no excuses. That they did not allow themselves to wallow in sorrow or admit defeat, even though it did come at the end. They rolled up their sleeves and they gave everything. Everyone worked really hard. They pressed, tracked back with they tracked back quicker than the attacks at times. There were times when I saw when they were running back, it was like they were just sprinting full pelt. It was it was such a committed display, and every one of them should be proud with their effort tonight. If nothing else, it happened. We know who we were playing against tonight, and we made certain that everyone was accounted for. There was nobody was slacking at all. That's what I want to say first and foremost. We, yeah, it was a fully committed performance, and I was really proud to watch that. So, yeah, moving on to the game. From what I saw, they, uh, we just, it was just brilliant. It was lots of energetic pressing. You know, making it very hard for Liverpool to pass. Making the angles for them to pass very difficult, closing down the passing lanes, tracking runs, uh, forcing them into positions they did not want to be in. It was all action from everyone. It was a really good performance. It's just unfortunate that we weren't rewarded with a point at the very least. It's also I noticed the ref a bit too much today, and when I noticed the ref a lot, that's when I feel that they're doing a bad job. I understand that physicality is going to be a lot more tolerated this season, as the refs want to stamp out diving, which is right, and it's a disgusting part of the game. I understand that sometimes players will go down to alert refs to rough tactics from the opposition, but diving is not great. I personally despise it, and I understand that they want to eradicate it from the game, but there were times where the referee was letting certain things go, and it was crazy. Like in the first half, I remember Diaz. He went through Jamal Lascelles, and the referee said nothing to it. He just kicked straight through, and then a few minutes later, he was challenging for the ball, but he ended up heading Jamal Lascelles in the back of his head. And there were other instances throughout the game where the referee was letting things go, and he shouldn't have been. And it's we eventually did start kicking back a little bit, which is necessary. You have to remind the teams like, don't try those rough tactics because we'll give you a bit of what you're giving, and that's what had to happen. But still, the referee should keep constraint on the game. That's what he's there for, and he was poor in many ways. Also with the timekeeping, which I don't want to talk about too much, as it ended up ruining the spectacle. But I didn't understand where the 5 minutes came from. I understand He may have been saying when some of our players went down with cramp, yeah, they did a little bit more time, but there was no serious injuries during the game. There was no significant lapses of time. I don't understand where 5 minutes came from, and that was crazy. Then he added another 3 minutes on top of the five. So maybe that's what happens when you play the bigger clubs. But from what I saw tonight, soon enough that won't matter. You know, we'll be creating our own luck. We'll be creating opportunities and winning it within the 90. You know, it may not happen this season, maybe not even next, but it's coming. From what I've seen, that type of commitment, and it's not just commitment just from the players, it's from Eddie Howe and his coaching staff, the recruitment team, the ownership. It's gonna come where the referees cannot impact the game with their nonsense. So it's just a matter of time. Yeah, moving on. Yeah, with the players, I don't really know who I would call man of the match because I was just impressed with everyone. From every position group, there was somebody who stood out. Dan Burn was excellent in defence. You know, he's being a colossus. He's winning challenges, winning his headers. Made some key blocks in the midfield. All three of them. There are moments where they, they occasionally don't have that quality at times, but they worked extremely hard, both in the attacking and defensive. Sean Longstaff showing that he does still have that quality within him with that free ball for Alexander Isaac's goal. Joe Willock didn't do so much in attacking areas, but he worked diligently. He was tracking back. He was pressing, running with real purpose. He looked totally different to how he did on Sunday, so maybe he had been spoken to. And Joe Linton was just disrupting throughout the pitch. At times it wasn't as influential as he normally is, but he made certain that his physicality was known to the Liverpool midfield. And up front, Ryan Fraser, Miguel Almiron were working hard up and down the flank, covering their defenders, getting forward when we had our counters, making intelligent runs, to move into space. And Alexander Isaac, he got his debut goal. He worked throughout the game. He showed his dribbling for that offside goal, which you should look at it yourself. I don't know where the razor thin offside was, but the referee decided somewhere he has managed to be offside, so just have to let it rest. But from what I saw of Alexander Isaac, he's going to be a problem for defenders. Because for that second goal, he twisted the Liverpool defenders inside out. I'm pretty certain he put Joe Gomez on his bottom, and then he just buried it past Alisson. So if that had been an onside, whew, yeah, he looks like he's gonna be a real problem for defenders because he's got it all from what I'm seeing. He got the skill, got pace, he works hard for his team, and as he starts to get to know everyone's habits, he looks to try and move the ball into the proper areas as well. At the start of the game, you could see that he was a bit anxious, but there was one moment where truthfully should have slotted, I think, Ryan Fraser in, but he decided to take a shot and he skied it. But I like to see that confidence as well, that he was willing to take responsibility, and I think he apologised. But I like that as well from a striker, to have that confidence within himself, that bordering arrogance to say, no, I'm in charge here, this is what I do, this is my speciality, is scoring goals and making plays for this team. So at times it's necessary. He has to have that belief in himself that he can carry the ball and take on the shot, but he also must be aware where when someone's in a better goal scoring position. I apologize for that. Yeah. So it's just a quick review of the game. I'm going to do a more extensive one tomorrow, and there's also transfer deadline, so yeah, I'll be talking about that as well. I thought it was today, but I was wrong. So I apologize if you heard it in the last broadcast that I thought the transfer deadline was today. So yeah, hopefully we can get somebody in, because from what I saw, the players coming off the bench, it's I've already spoken about this. The drop off in quality is quite stark. Chris Wood was just lumbering about. He was trying his hardest, but after seeing Alexander Isaac, that level of quality, it's it's looking tough for Chris Wood right now. It's probably it probably lasts to the end of the season to keep that depth in the squad. But I think next summer he'll probably be moving on, both for himself and for the team as well. So it's just unfortunate. But he always works hard for the team, but when he came on, we lost that attacking thrust and the ability to press right from the front. And you need to do that to someone like Allison. You need to keep him on his toes. There were times where Alexander Isaac was right on top of him and forced him to make poor clearances that are uncharacteristic of Allison. That's what you need if you're going to cause Liverpool problems. It's got to be from front all the way back, where you're just intense and on them. Uh, Jacob Murphy, when he came on, he's becoming more indecisive by the week. You can see his confidence is just ebbing away. And I like what I like about him. He's willing to work hard for the team, and I know that he loves Newcastle as a fan as well. But that confidence is just getting worse and worse. He's making poorer runs. There were times where he was pressing well, but yeah, he's looking out of his depth at the moment. Hopefully, he can get it together. But he's another one where I wonder about him. But the season is long. It's only just started, and we've seen many players being redeemed under Eddie Howe. So I hope he can be one of those as well. Anyway, thank you for listening, and wherever you are, have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Peace.